Our presentation is the first audit, basic audit class and basic audit course, Audit 101. Team is member of the team are also transparent. I'm going to continue because of the time pressure of 5 minutes. First of all, what is audit? Is the question, and all beginners in audit are a little bit confused what audit in fact means, and it looks like conversation with asterisks and omelets. What are we looking for? I don't know yet. In order to solve this dilemma, we put some key parts of definition of Accounting Association of American Association of Accountants related with audit definition. The audit is systematic process, objective obtaining and evidence evaluation in order to give independent opinion, to provide reasonable assurance that the financial statements are true and fair presented without any material misstatements due to the fraud and error. What auditors need to do during the audit engagements? A lot of questions: ask, collect, check, analyze, test, confirm, conclude, write. What is that is expectation from the auditors? And now we have some short song dedicated to all auditors, from which we can see what is perception for the auditors on the side of users of information.
When you are going to sleep, when you try to do something, every day you cast fingerprint and also from referencing. You must know how to debit credit. You know you can buy your balance sheet. You hold it as a calculator. Nothing on the pressure. I wanna see. After profit, she feel my good time, she told for me. Why don't you treat me and see? Subject we go home, watch TV. All this so messy, comes from my daisy, I wanna see. The people are going to sleep, the cameras are going to sleep. The cameras are going home to sleep, the couch is doing cold. On Sunday when we are lucky, we can go home early 6:30. If you know what's up, it just me. All you do is think of things I do. I wanna see. I want to let the straight and the partner take it from me. We work 8 hours every day, but we get so little pay. We can think and see what can we for the I wanna see.
Okay, if that is perception, what auditors are doing. Now we will explain what are the personal attributes of the auditors. Our auditors should possess personal attributes to enable them to act in accordance with the principles of auditing. There are a few very important attributes: ethical, open-minded, diplomatic, close, perceptive, and in total, if you like to say self-reliant, if you like to say that with one word, auditor needs to be a superman to fulfill these requirements from the profession. What are the basic concepts and terminology in audit? There are some audit criteria, set of policies, procedures, and requirements. There are some very important on audit evidence. We know that what auditors are doing. It's very important to obtain and to evaluate audit evidence. It's a very important argument in expressing independent opinion. So that is also a very important part of the audit engagements. Audit findings are also very important. That are results of evaluation of the collected audit evidence against audit criteria. Audit conclusion, outcome of the audit provided by the audit team after consideration of the audit objectives and all audit findings. Audit clients, organization or person requesting an audit. Also, there are a few very important terms related with audit. Auditor, we saw personal attributes before. It's a person with the competence to conduct an auditing, organization being audited, audit team, one or more auditors conducting an audit, supported if needed by technical experts. Technical experts also is very important for first understanding of audit concept and terminology. That is the person who provides specific knowledge or expertise to the audit team, if it's necessary, of course. Audit program, audit plan, audit scope, audit competence also are very basic terms and concept. And also very important for audit, for first introductory course of audit are basic principles of auditing, ethical conduct, fair presentation, due professional care, independence, evidence-based approach. So, thank you for your attention. Any questions and suggestions?
Hi everyone, my name is Dragan Lončar, Faculty of Economics Belgrade, and I will present you in the next 5 minutes the term depreciation and related economic terms. The name of the topic is Now or Never, and you will see in the end why that is the name of the presentation. First disclaimer, because it's very sensitive topic. The events depicted in these presentations are fictions. Any similarity to any person living or dead is merely coincidental. This document has been assembled by team number 2 using information available at the time of the document's preparation. The sole purpose of this document is to present depreciation and related economic terms in a funny but informative way. This document may not be distributed, reproduced, or used without the express consent of the team or for any purpose other than the winning the golden certificate from CFRR. Team do not accept responsibility for any information contained herein and disclaims all liabilities to any person or entity arising out of or in connection with such information. This document is directed at persons who have professional experience in accounting and finance. Other persons should not act or rely on this document or any of its contents. Okay, episode number 1, advertisement. Hi, I'm a spectacularly beautiful 25-year-old girl. I'm articulate and classy. I'm not from Belgrade, but from Surdulica, which is 500 kilometers from Belgrade. I'm looking to get married to a guy who makes at least 100k euro per year. I know how that sounds, but my lifestyle expenses are honestly pretty high because my beauty requires expensive maintenance. Are there any guys who makes 100k or much more than that if possible? Episode number 2 response. I'm a CFO of a world's famous multinational company. I qualify for your bid as I earn much more than 100k. What you suggest is a simple trade. You bring your looks to the table in return for my money. The problem is that your looks will fade and my money will likely continue into perpetuity. In fact, it is very likely that my income will increase, but it is absolute certainty that you won't be getting any more beautiful. So in economic terms, you are a depreciating asset while I'm an earning asset. In investment banking glossary, you are called trading position. My position is not to buy and hold. In the corporate finance terms, my decision is to lease, probably to operating lease model. The basis for my decision was the decision tree I am submitting. Please let me know what you think. So we gave 3 options in decision tree. One is buy, meaning immediate marriage after blind date. The other one is lease, with 2 options, operating lease or capital lease. And the third option is do nothing, meaning option expiration. So final episode and conclusion, we proved that it is possible to explain several accounting and finance terms in a single 5-minute presentation, or even less than that. We referred to valuation, financial and real options, return on investment, efficient market hypothesis, depreciation, and how to solve dilemma buy or lease. And therefore our humble opinion is that we deserve this wonderful golden frame certificate.
više. Ovo je situacija koja treba da prezentuje pitanje koja menadžeri često postavljaju svoje računovođe.
Oh God.
You are my chief financial officer. Can you tell me what was the profit of my company in the last year?
Yes, it was very successful for your firm. You have profit €1 million.
Oh, 1 million. It's great. I'm going to spend this money as quickly as possible. I'm going to buy maybe a new car and maybe even a new plane. What do you think? Is it a good idea?
I think that isn't a good idea.
Why?
Because on your bank account, you have only €200.
200 euros? Why?
To je pitanje koje često postavljaju menadžeri svojim računovođama, računajući da iznos profita istovremeno odražava iznos gotovine. Naravno, mi znamo. Dalje. Treći slajd. Iznos gotovine, naravno, i iznos profita nisu isti. Zašto nisu isti? Zbog toga što jednostavno profit je razlika između prihoda i rashoda. Iznos gotovine je razlika između priliva i odliva. U kratkom roku svi znamo da prilivi i prihodi nisu jednaki. Zašto nisu jednaki? Pa zbog toga što prihodi u jednom obračunskom periodu mogu biti praćeni prilivima, ali prilivi također mogu uslediti pre datog obračunskog perioda ili nakon njega. Na primjer, mogu prodati robu i naplatiti je u narednom obračunskom periodu. Imaću prihod, neću imati priliv. Moguće je da mi kupac plati unapred, tada ću imati priliv, a neće biti prihoda. Slično je i sa rashodima. Rashod mogu platiti u narednom obračunskom periodu, iako je nastao sada, ili mogu platiti sada rashod budućeg obračunskog perioda. To je razlog zbog koga. Dakle, prihodi nisu jednaki naplatama, odnosno prilivima, i zbog koga rashodi nisu jednaki odlivima. Ako prihodi i naplate nisu jednake, i ako rashodi i isplate nisu jednake, ne možemo očekivati da profit, koji je razlika između prihoda i rashoda, bude jednak razlici između naplata i isplata. I profit i gotovina, koja je razlika između naplata i isplata, su jako važni pokazatelji. Ne mogu se jedan drugog zameniti. Šta se desilo u slučaju koji je sa početka prezentacije? Zašto je ta razlika tako velika? Pa možemo samo pretpostaviti. Ili su prilivi manji zbog toga što potraživanja nisu naplaćena, dakle imali smo prihode, ali ne i naplate, ili pak smo imali situaciju da su prilivi po osnovu prihoda ovog obračunskog perioda nastali u prethodnom periodu. Zašto su odlivi bili tako veliki? Pa verovatno smo plaćali iznose rashoda budućih obračunskih perioda. Ili smo pak plaćali obaveze iz prethodnih obračunskih perioda. Dakle, odgovor ne može biti jednostavan. Ono što je jako važno, to je da razumete da ne možete zamenjivati profit i keš. Zato imamo dva izveštaja. Izveštaj o rezultatu, koji govori o profitu, i izveštaj o novčanim tokovima, koji govori o neto gotovini. Dakle, uvek kombinujte ili uvek uzimajte oba podatka, nemojte ih zamenjivati. A sada bih voljela da razmislite o sledeće. Kako se ovakav odnos između prihoda i naplata i rashoda i isplata odražava na imovinu? Imovina ne može biti netangirana razlikom između profita s jedne strane i neto gotovine s druge. Hvala.
Okay, we have chosen the topic
materiality in audit and its determination in practice, and is the class for is an audit class. The teacher is asking for the auditor, what is materiality? And one of the students raised the hand, and his answer is all the materials we can find in the company. But the teacher is giving another definition for the classroom. Information is material if its omission or misstatement affects the economic decision of its users taken on the basis of financial statements. Determining materiality is a matter of professional judgment. It is based on the auditor's perception of common financial information needs of users of the financial statements as a group. Materiality should be considered by the auditor when first determine the nature, time and the extent of audit procedures and evaluate the impact of misstatements in the financial statements. Materiality may have two aspects, quantitative and qualitative. And this is how to determine materiality. Materiality is a matter of professional judgment rather than a mechanical exercise. As a result, no specific guidance is provided in the international standards on auditing. However, profit from continuing operations from 3 to 7% is often used in practice as having the greatest significance of financial statements users. The steps of evaluation materiality: first, create a preliminary judgment for materiality. The second is allocating preliminary judgment in accounts balances. And the third is assessment of possible misstatements and compare the totals with preliminary assessment of materiality. This is a balance sheet with totals, assets and liabilities and equities. The tolerable error is 6% of profit from operations, 1 million multiplied by 6%, 60,000, and this 60,000 possible or tolerable error is allocated to assets and to liabilities. Did you understand what is materiality? And the classroom is answering yes, of course. Thank you.
Only just.
Okay, I am Arbor, and me and my friend Nejat are going to present this topic, which we called it cost or expenses, are they really the same? And since we are more or less the last team, I can promise you guys that there is not going to be only one award. So our team is going to issue an award to somebody here, even if they don't win the real one. At the end of the presentation, of course, after you fulfill some criteria. Okay. From the finance perspective, we all know that cash is king, right? So whenever cash is down, we say that we have an expense from the finance point of view. So these terms from finance glossary like expenditure, cost, expense, charge, outlay, and other synonyms are all the same. It all relates to having a receipt, paying some money, buying a car, paying some salaries. Everything relates to decreasing cash at some point of time. So from the finance point of view, we can all agree that whenever we pay and whatever we get, we are going to expense something. And this is the idea in the beginning. And we will see if they are the same or not, compared to the costs. So what we are going to do here is discuss about the cost from the management accounting perspective, because this is the class of management accounting. And we all know that management accounting deals with companies who manufacture something, whether it's products or services. So costs usually relate to their synonyms are product costs, because we produce something, unexpired cost, because we produce or might not sell it, so it's unexpired cost, it's still waiting somewhere, or manufacturing costs. So whatever cost we have which relates to products and services that we produce, which are directly or indirectly related to the product that we produce, are considered costs. They are usually reported in both statements that we mentioned on previous classes, on the income statement, or it's reported on the statement of financial position if it's unsold. And the examples of product costs or unexpired costs are direct materials, which belong to the product that we produce, direct labor, or the direct employees who work at the factory, and the factory overhead are other expenses which indirectly relate to the products or final product that we produce. So more or less, this is the three components of product cost inside the management accounting concept. And what is the difference between cost and expense? Again, cost can be translated into expense, while the real expense can never go back and become cost. So the cost, as we mentioned earlier, when the product is sold, can be translated into the cost of goods sold. So as we mentioned, the three components go directly to the finished goods, and then this cost, after it gets sold, it is transferred to the cost of goods sold. So this is one good characteristic of cost, which is not for the expense side. And now I will hand it to my colleague who will continue with the expense side.
Okay, thank you. Hi everyone. Before starting my point, and be careful because we're not giving reward without doing anything. That's why be careful for listening carefully each details. So as my colleague mentioned, what was the cost? Now it's time to differentiate the expenses. Okay. Expenses usually called period cost. It means that all transactions in a current and exact time period. Also, it's called expired cost and used up value. You know, expenses is important for maintaining business operations. It's not related to manufacturing process. Also, it's not integral part of production process. Okay. And also for the reporting system, expenses is reported on income statement. And now there's an example. What was the expenses? The two types: selling expenses like marketing, sales, personal salaries, and also commission expenses. The second type is administrative expenses like office, personal salaries, office supplies, office depreciation. Now. There's a decision tree that we mentioned, all things here. You see, resources, if it's related to manufacturing, if it's related to manufacturing, it's called cost, and if it's not, it's called expenses. And also there's how it's reported on a sheet, like balance sheet and income statement. And also, there's a real case. Now I'm going to explain examples. Okay, this is an English language academy that's giving English classes to the children. And there's two well-equipped classrooms in this academy. And there's a question. Classroom desk, we're buying this purchasing classroom desk. Is it cost or expenses? Of course, this is directly related to academic purpose, like teaching. That's why it is direct. It's called direct cost at this point. Also, teachers' salary is also related to directly for cost. Receptionist salary. This is called expenses because it's not directly related. Also, cost of phone calls. This is administrative expenses. This is also called expense. Now, last point. We are going to give reward for your work. Here is a certificate for us. Just be careful, look at the corporation name, A and N. This is a first letter of our names. And for what was the purpose of this certificate? Finding a difference between costs and expenses. Now it's time, just explain the process.
Okay, the procedure is that we will ask some questions, and I encourage every one of you just to raise your hand and just give it's a cost or an expense. So whoever, we are going to consider two factors, the true answers and the pace. And we are going to select a real company which does manufacturing of some goods. And we have a few people hanging over there. We have the administrative part over there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 questions for whoever wants to answer the question. So the first question is for this guy over here. Click on it, and how would you classify a production worker's salary? A cost or as an expense? Who has the answer? I'm sorry.
Also, this is important. Speed, giving response at speed, also the first answer. Now,
So who has the first answer? One over there. Okay. Cost or an expense? It's a cost. Let's see. I don't know. If you understood, yes, it's correct. So, because it's directly related to the production of this. Okay, the second question is the administration. It says, how would you classify office supplies for head of administration's offices? Yes, Cornelia? Expense, let's see. I hope it's true. Okay, correct. It's not directly related to the manufacturing process. About this guy over there, how would you classify the GM's salary? General manager's salary.
Waste of money.
So you're saying it's an expense, right? Waste of money. Let's see. Alex? Great. Good. The electricity supply to the machinery, cost or an expense? Cornelia?
Kalina.
Kalina, sorry. Cost? Yeah, you're right. Thank you. And the last question, how would you classify the component of a computer? Component of the computer, okay, we have two correct answers, 1 and 1. Maybe there will be a tie or something.
Yeah.
anyone?
Okay, let's go for cost. Okay. Let's see. So we have an answer for cost from the professor, correct? It's directly related to the manufacturing process. It could be an overhead expense and it's allocated to the product. It's not an expense, it's a cost. Thank you very much. Okay, this is it from our group, and I think the award should go to the first right answer or the person who has two correct answers. What do you think?
I think the two correct answer is the best one.
Okay, to Kalina, thank you very much.
Okay, we are the last one. I think that it's the time not to make some other things. We will be prepared for you some movie, some real movie regarding our workshop, WorldBank workshop. Main actor is Alex. Sorry, Alex. After this, probably we will be out of the workshop. Alex is teacher.
You want to be on account? Think it over. It ain't easy. You might need a boy cooler. If you ain't willing to work hard, then damn it. It's the most sought after job on this planet. Now, you tell me you wanna be an impartial judge of my solvency. Now, you tell me you wanna protect the world from corporate fraudulence. Now, all that sounds like fun, son. But you gotta walk before you can run. To know what these numbers mean, you gotta know the debit credit theory. Understand the fundamental accounting equation. An asset increasing is a debit. An asset decreasing is a credit. The reverse is true for liabilities and equity. If you get this, then you get accounts. Get it on the left, get it on the right, get it left, get it right, get it left, get it right. All complete satisfaction, balance.
Okay, you can close. Guys, it's so boring in this workshop.
We will change this atmosphere, it's necessary.
Maybe, somehow traditional stimulated Alex.
How good? How? That's when this is daily income.
Great, great. If you want to make a good interaction, definitely we have to increase Alex's daily income. And the workshop will not be creatively boring. So, Alex, we will try to do it to make additional effort to increase your daily income.
I promise, I will.
Thank you. Certificate is out. Thank you.
For group number one, as Zoritsa knows, I'm an audit fan. So I thought that the topic was great. I thought it was right on message, trying to tell people what it's about. Oh boy, the number of times I've done that. So from that point of view, I thought group one's topic area, I thought was a real good one, but a very significant challenge. And it's challenging in professional circles, never mind in student circles. I also thought that Under the Sea was great. I thought the music, everything about it, and you were asked to do something that was multimedia. And here you had done just that. You had taken a number of combinations and presented them in a particular way. Now, in my little Excel chart, one of the columns I had was for star quality. Because you know all of the programs we get on the television where people get voted for. And this was the one that I thought would be able to exercise a little bit of objective, address to it. But at the end of the day, you as individuals and you as a group should be incredibly proud of what you've done. So, group one, I thought it was terrific content, and I thought the presentation was good.
So, team number two, to be honest, you were my favorite one. So, we're not giving you yet the, but I love, as I said, all of the presentations, and like Alex, I really want to congratulate you. You should be proud indeed. I like the topic. And I have to say I like every single topic, but I like appreciation and this sort of edgy little way, the young lady and the rich, arrogant male who was appreciating and not depreciating. I thought that was courageous, but nicely done, a bit edgy, but nicely done. Obviously, I love the humor overall. The sketches were really nice, quite professional, but also humoristic. The print was a little small, but I mean it was really great in terms of the form. You used the laser, by the way. This was great. You faced this. This is important. It's the whole package, as Alex said. The three: the content, the form, and the delivery. The star element. So, loved it.
Group number three. The topic was, as we mentioned already, is a very good topic and very important because it's very often, we have a problem with this topic. But it was a big challenge, and you presented in through the tables, and you presented the difference, or you tried to present the difference on this topic. And I think choosing this topic was really a big challenge, and I think it's very important.
Group number four, again, dealing in the area of audit. I thought thought you were really brave taking on materiality. And I thought the first definition was probably more accurate than the second one. But at the end of the day, the topic was a challenge. Now, for me, that's high marks in an award, because it's the tough topics to explain, I think is really great. Again, looking across the presentation and the information and how well it comes across to the audience, you had a lot of information on the slide, you had a lot of detail, and this from an information point of view, I think is a very positive impact, demonstrates you know the topic. The challenge, of course, with materiality is trying not to make it sound like the auditor's right to make a mistake. Yeah? And that really is a real challenge. But again, I thought the combination of the topic, the presentation, and of course the presenter, I thought it was great. I really did. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So for my review of Group 1 and Group 4, I think you did really well. Thank you very much.
Group number 5, great. I mean, you guys put a lot of efforts. I mean, you know, that's really great. I mean, now is it, you know, was there a return on the investment? I think there was, but you had a big denominator. So in terms of the numerator, I really like the duet. It was a nice idea. I mean, I think you could have used it a little better, but you had only 5 minutes. You could have done one cost and one expenses, but but it was really a nice idea to have the duet. You had your accomplices in the corner. That was really smart. Kalina and Piotr. I don't know if they were voluntary accomplices, but I thought that was a brilliant idea. And of course, the award within the award, that was absolutely brilliant. That was really very, very smart. A little bit of, you know, tongue-in-cheek to the organizers, but there was a great chart. I like that chart. Actually, you could see it and you could follow it. That is a great visual. So kudos to group number 5.
Number 6. Number 6, you choose a very good video. And what you did also is, which is interesting because it's, I think, the only group, I'm sure it's the only group who did, everyone in the team contribute to the presentation. And this was, in 5 minutes, it's not very easy to do that, but you succeeded in doing that. So this is a very good point. I know it's not very easy for everyone, every team to do it.
So ladies and gentlemen, the winner is
group number 5.
Yay!